Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise, really dig into complex topics and give you the insights you need. And today, wow, we're tackling a big one. Back in December 2022, something pretty significant happened. It really shifted things, kicking off what a lot of people are calling a revolution in, well, how we find, use, and even create information. I'm talking about the public release of ChatGPT. So today, we're doing a deep dive into artificial intelligence.ai. We'll look at where it came from, how it's already, changing our lives, our jobs, how we learn. And we're grounding all of this in the sources you've shared with us, pulling out the surprising facts and the crucial context.
Yeah, and if we break it down simply, AI programs, they're designed to simulate human intelligence, right? Things like learning, reasoning, adapting. Now, ChatGPT specifically, that's a generative pre-trained transformer. Think of it like combining sophisticated chatbots with what we call large language models, LLMs. And the real leap here is how these LLMs gather and crunch just vast amounts of data. Wikipedia, public forums, you name it. This lets them predict and actually generate whole paragraphs, essays, even code, not just the next word.
Right.
That's the fundamental shift. It's way beyond autocomplete.
So our mission today is to unpack the profound implications of this AI revolution. We'll look at some surprising ways it's being used, the big challenges it throws up, and what the future might actually hold, all based on the details in these sources. Okay, so let's unpack this. To really get it, we need to look back a bit, right? Where did this technology come from? I mean, the basic idea of AI, it actually goes way back, like the 1940s and 50s. John McCarthy, he's the one who coined the term artificial intelligence back in '56. And there was this early wave symbolic AI in the 50s through the 70s. But then things kind of cooled off. Yeah, the AI winter, they called it, in the 70s and 80s. Progress slowed down, but the core ideas, they stuck around, setting the stage.
Exactly. And, when ChatGPT arrived, it felt sudden, but really it's a logical step from tech we've used for ages. Think word processors, spell check, grammar tools, even predictive text on your phone. But the essential difference, and this is key, while predictive text is sort of single-purpose AI, these broader AI programs like ChatGPT, they can handle a much wider range of complex tasks. They integrate reasoning. But, and this is timeless, you always have to remember, GI Go.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Precisely. The quality of what you put in absolutely dictates the quality of what you get out. It's powerful, yeah, but it's not magic.
And even with that long history, its public release was just an immediate sensation because it could do so much. It generates text that's coherent, often really sophisticated, way beyond just predicting the next word.
Which brings us straight to a critical point, a big caveat.
Yeah.
These programs, they're not perfect, far from it. Their answers aren't always accurate. They're definitely not always fact-checked. I mean, ChatGPT itself warns you, right? It says, ChatGPT may produce inaccurate information about people, places, or facts. You have to understand that limitation.
And yet, what they can pull off is pretty remarkable. Our sources showed some, frankly, astonishing examples, like a paper written entirely by ChatGPT. It passed 3 peer reviewers.
Wow.
Yeah. Think about that. And another study, academic abstracts made by ChatGPT got through peer review 32% of the time, even when the reviewers knew some were fake.
That's incredible.
And another one showed ChatGPT fooled scientists nearly a third of the time. It just shows how convincing it can be, maybe even deceptive sometimes.
It really does. And, as a direct result of these capabilities, impressive, sure, but also a bit concerning. We've seen AI detection tools pop up very quickly, things like the GPT-2 output detector, and Turnitin now has AI detection built right in. It's like this constant back and forth, this arms race for authenticity.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about education, learning, teaching. How is AI set to, fundamentally change things there?
Oh, the potential impact on education based on our sources, it's huge. It really challenges that old one-size-fits-all approach. The core idea is creating these hyper-personalized learning paths.
Hyper-personalized.
Yes. AI can look at a student's strengths, weaknesses, how they're progressing, and then tailor lessons just for them. So say you're struggling with algebra. The AI gives you more focused practice there, but it still keeps you going with geometry, for example. It's not just about being efficient. It's about really understanding how each student learns, their cognitive fingerprint, almost.
Interesting.
And that personalization. It extends to things like instant feedback, intelligent tutoring. It's like having a tutor available 24/7, giving immediate corrections, explanations.
That would free up teachers quite a bit.
Exactly. It lets them focus on the interactive stuff, the human connection. AI can also handle automated grading, essays, quizzes, saving teachers massive amounts of time. Then you've got smart content creation. AI generating lesson plans, quizzes, flashcards, all in real time, keeping things fresh.
Okay.
And for diverse learners, the support is incredible. Speech to text, text to speech for impairments. It can even track emotional responses to tailor things. Imagine an AI reading text aloud for a student with dyslexia, highlighting words. Makes it so much more accessible. Plus, administrative efficiency attendance, scheduling, assignment tracking, that gets automated. And enhanced student support through virtual assistants, chatbots giving 204/7 help. Even creative opportunities in art or music, AI suggesting ideas. Ultimately, the premise is more inclusive, scalable education, reaching more students wherever they are.
Okay, so that's the potential, which sounds amazing. But it's interesting to see how students are actually using it right now. We saw a survey from fall 2023 with some really telling numbers. 41% of students said they used ChatGPT or similar tools. But, and this is the kicker, only 20% used AI for academic work.
Only 20%, that's low.
Right. And in daily lives, 65% said they never use AI chatbots, 30% occasionally, only 5% very often. Student satisfaction averaged about 2.6 out of 5, kind of lukewarm. And maybe most surprising, only 2% of college courses in that survey had actually brought ChatGPT into the curriculum.
Wow.
Seems like a pretty big gap between the hype and the reality on the ground.
It really does. And that gap, it gets even clearer when you look at how students see AI fitting into their future careers. Only 19% thought ChatGPT could actually replace, say, a business communication course.
Right.
81% disagreed.
So they still see value in the human skills.
Seems like it. And looking ahead to jobs, 36% thought they'd never use ChatGPT at work. 52% said occasionally, and just 12% expected to use it often. Which is fascinating when you think about how much written communication happens at work. What was that stat? 319.6 billion emails in 2021.
Yeah, projected to hit nearly 377 billion by 2025.
Exactly. There's a disconnect there.
That email number is huge. So does this mean that even with all this AI assistance, those core human skills, nuance, critical thinking, connecting with people actually become more important?
I think absolutely AI can help. It can streamline, sure. But it can't fully replace those essential human communication abilities. In many ways, it actually highlights why they're so crucial.
So moving beyond the classroom, AI is clearly making big waves in the professional world too. Tools popping up everywhere for almost every industry. What's striking isn't just what these tools do, but how they're making complex tasks accessible.
Right.
Turning things into simple prompts, letting smaller teams do more.
Exactly right. Professionally, AI is already huge for things like summarizing long reports, drafting emails, creating online content. It's a major productivity booster for business communication. And our sources map out these broad categories of tools changing how we work. You've got the conversational AI, like ChatGPT, obviously, but also others like Claude, which lets you build little apps right in the chat. Meta AI is integrated into their platforms. Then tools like Zapier agents connect AI across thousands of different apps for specific tasks, data analysis, drafting emails, pulling reports, automating workflows.
Okay.
For search, you've got AI search engines now. Perplexity is interesting. It gets high-quality answers, quotes its sources really well. Google's doing AI overviews, Arc Search too, content creation. Tools like Jasper are built for high-volume, research, even images.
Yeah.
Any word. Writer, that one uses its own LLMs, which is interesting, helps keep brand voice consistent for big companies.
Right, more control.
Yeah. And text enhancement going beyond spell check. Grammarly, WordTune, they help with tone, simplifying complex sentences. Then you jump into multimedia. AI video is exploding. Runway is a big name there. Descript is cool. You edit the video by editing the text transcript.
Oh, it's clever.
It is. For images, DALE3, Midjourney, ideogram. That last one's good at putting accurate text in images, which has been tricky. And the list just goes on. Social media management, like FeedHive, helping repurpose content. Voice and music generation, 11 Labs. For voiceovers, Suno, or AIVA, creating music from prompts.
It's almost overwhelming.
It can be, there's knowledge management, Mem, Notion AI, organizing your notes, task management like Asana, using AI for goals, transcription tools like Fireflies, summarizing meetings, scheduling assistants, email helpers like Microsoft Copilot, presentation builders, even resume builders.
Yeah.
And automation platforms like Zapier tying it all together.
It's incredible. It really feels like AI is touching almost every part of professional life now. Not just doing more, but hopefully working smarter, faster, better.
Yeah.
But, okay, as these tools get woven into everything we do, it absolutely brings up big questions. Safety, ethics. What are the major challenges we're facing here, especially around privacy?
That's a huge critical area, and the sources lay out several major privacy hurdles with AI. First, just the sheer amount of data gathering. AI needs massive amounts of data, often personal, sensitive stuff, pulled from everywhere. Social media, IoT devices. Right away, that clashes with ideas like data minimization, only collecting what you strictly need.
Right.
Second, there's the whole issue of consent. Is your original consent still valid when AI uses your data in ways you never imagined? Plus, AI decision-making is often a black box, right? It's hard for people to understand how their data is being used, making meaningful consent tricky.
Yeah, just click agree.
Exactly. Then, data security. These huge data sets, they're massive targets for hackers. Breaches are a constant risk, and a really big one. Transparency and automated decisions. Think loans, hiring, even law enforcement. If an AI makes a decision affecting you, but you can't understand why, where's the accountability?
That's worrying.
It is. And related to that is discrimination and bias. AI learns from data, and if that data reflects societal biases, the AI can pick those up and even amplify them, leading to unfair outcomes. So you need constant monitoring, constant algorithm updates. There's also the risk of re-identification. AI can sometimes piece together supposedly anonymized data to figure out who individuals are. Privacy gone, just like that. And finally, because AI is global, international data transfers are complex. Privacy laws vary wildly between countries, making compliance really difficult.
Okay, let's make that more concrete. We see these privacy issues play out in specific applications, right? Like facial recognition, the power to track people in public without permission. That's a huge privacy concern for many. Or voice assistants, Alexa, Google Assistant. Are they always listening? That continuous surveillance in our homes feels invasive to some.
Yeah.
And personalized advertising, sure, it can be useful, but the tracking of everything we do online raises questions about manipulation and just, being constantly watched.
These aren't just hypotheticals. We've seen major incidents. The Cambridge Analytica scandal was a huge wake-up call about how personal data could be misused. That directly led to stronger laws like GDPR in Europe and CCPA in California.
Right.
Or look at AI in hiring. Using algorithms to screen resumes sounds efficient, but if the training data was biased, the AI might unfairly filter out whole groups of people. There's a big push now for more transparency and accountability there.
It really highlights this tension, doesn't it? The amazing potential versus these really serious ethical problems. Which brings us to things like explainable AI, XAI. It's not just jargon. It feels necessary for building trust, right? Making these systems understandable.
Exactly. And that's part of the proposed solutions, developing new laws specifically for AI. Better data protection rules, clear accountability frameworks, who's responsible when AI messes up. Plus, pushing for privacy-enhancing technologies. Things like federated learning, where the AI learns without seeing the raw data, or differential privacy, which adds noise to protect individuals. The goal is really to get ahead of these issues, to actively protect privacy rights as AI keeps advancing.
Okay, let's zoom in on one specific, really critical area, healthcare. AI's potential here is enormous, but the stakes are obviously incredibly high.
Oh, absolutely. In healthcare, conversational AI, chatbots, they're making a huge difference already. The applications are really diverse, mental health support providing clinical backup, even therapeutic conversations, offering medical info on symptoms, treatments, streamlining appointment management booking, canceling, health education, lifestyle coaching. Even during COVID, they help spread info, assess symptoms.
So a lot of different uses.
A ton. And the benefits are pretty clear. They make healthcare more accessible, efficient, effective. They work 247, give immediate answers. That really increases access, especially for people who have trouble getting traditional care.
And cost savings too, I imagine.
Big time. Automating routine stuff, scheduling records, admin tasks, that cuts costs significantly, makes the whole system more sustainable. And what's really key now is how much better the underlying LLMs have gotten. GPT-4, Gemini. They understand and generate language so much more naturally. That leads to interactions that are more fluid, more accurate, more personalized, better quality care, potentially.
Okay, the upsides sound great for healthcare, but surely there are specific challenges when you're dealing with something as sensitive as health.
Oh, definitely. There are important hurdles. For one, implementing these really advanced LLMs can be expensive up front. The tech and infrastructure cost money. And because AI is evolving so fast, studies on older chatbots, they might be outdated pretty quickly. Hard to get a long-term picture sometimes.
Right.
And those core challenges we talked about, data privacy, ethics, user trust, they're magnified in healthcare because the information is so sensitive. Plus, we still need more long-term studies on the actual impact. And figuring out how to integrate these tools smoothly with existing electronic health records is a big technical challenge.
It really underscores how vital careful research and strong policies are. We need to regulate and evaluate AI in healthcare super carefully to make sure it's safe and effective for everyone. All right, as we start to wrap up our deep dive today,
Yeah.
let's look ahead. There's so much hype, so much speculation. What's a more realistic view of AI over the next, say, 10 years? What does it all actually mean for us?
Well, the sources show this really interesting range of opinions. You've got outright skeptics on one side. Some see AI as just the latest tech fad. They think it won't be nearly as widespread as claimed. They point to little cartoons, argue, not everyone types for a living. Work from home is still under 20%. They just don't buy the universal revolution idea.
Okay, the skeptics.
Then you have the optimists at the other extreme. They expect wonders. They think AI will solve problems we thought were unsolvable, lead to unbelievable things becoming routine. But maybe the most common view is somewhere in the middle, a balanced perspective. Believing AI will solve some problems, automate certain kinds of work, but maybe be far less revolutionary than expected for everyday life overall. Lots of hype cycles before the next big leap. The reality is usually more nuanced.
That makes sense. And a big part of that nuance is the worry about jobs, right?
Yeah.
Meaningful work. Will AI take our jobs or maybe change them in ways that let us add more value?
History shows automation always changes the job landscape. Think lamplighters or how machines changed mining. AI will likely replace a lot of repetitive, menial tasks, administrative work.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, the world runs on human opinions, emotions, complex decisions, human judgment, human intervention. That's still going to be critical, especially for complex stuff. And I think there will always be a demand for genuine human interaction, creativity, empathy, those uniquely human things.
So looking specifically at the next decade, what are some concrete predictions from the sources?
Well, generative AI, the prediction is it could become like a calculator for language tasks, a common tool, but one that still needs a lot of human guidance to be really useful.
Okay.
Autonomous vehicles. The expectation is they become part of everyday life, maybe hitting 1 trillion miles driven per year in the US by 2034, moving from niche to normal. And LLMs, the language models themselves, they're expected to get much better, allowing for fast, natural conversations, maybe like Samantha in the movie Her, and integrating into things like video games for really dynamic character interactions.
Wow.
But maybe the single biggest societal challenge, authenticating digital information. AI could supercharge misinformation, propaganda, making it harder than ever to know what's real.
That's scary.
It is. But maybe, just maybe, that challenge forces us all to become more discerning, to seek out more authentic, human-verified information. A necessary shift, perhaps.
It really brings it back to that idea. AI is a tool. A very powerful tool, yes, but still a tool. It can save time, spark ideas, offer new perspectives. But the key is still us, our judgment, our ability to refine, apply, and direct what AI produces. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, really unpacked the huge scope of AI. We've seen its impact right now, its future potential transforming education, work, healthcare, but also raising those deep questions about privacy and ethics.
And it's so important to remember how fast this field is moving, exponentially fast. Studies from just last year, 2023, might already be somewhat obsolete. It means we all have to keep learning, keep adapting, stay curious, stay engaged with how this is all unfolding.
Absolutely. So here's something to think about as we close. Considering how quickly AI is evolving, with all its amazing potential and its significant challenges, how will you proactively shape how you engage with these powerful tools? How will you ensure they genuinely augment our human capabilities and values in your own life, your work, rather than diminishing them?